UBC, inspiring Uganda.
A very good afternoon and welcome to UBC Lunchtime News. I am Brian Tumwine Biaruhanga. The Minister of State for Transport, Fred Byamukama, has urged the youth to stop depending on politicians for survival and instead invest in the 4-acre model farming to create wealth. Now, he made the call while addressing over 100 youth from Chikuwe district during a study tour at Karoli Kamanyire Demonstration Farm in Chikwaya village in Kakumiro district. Byamukama advised the youth to emulate his 4-acre model farm, which he says earns him up to 72 million shillings monthly from enterprises including poultry, piggery, dairy, cattle, coffee, and pineapple. Let's take a look.
Have been enjoying money for politics, politicians giving them in rallies, in meetings, kakuyege, but now what next? Because now politics is done completely. What next? People should go back to their business, their income generating activities, and they make money. So that by the time the 5 years come, they will have money. These are younger people. The eggs are very productive and you can get good money. They can embark on coffee with banana because at the end of 2 years they will be harvesting. And also they can embark on other businesses like cocoa, such that this life after politics, they should be prepared to be making their own money. The sources of income, we have the money available, a mioga, you can get funds and get the seedlings, PDM. Even when the youth are organized, the government can give some support and grants. The youth should stop begging money from politicians. They should stop asking money from politicians, because a politician will not give you money until you die.
As here, ideally we are learning a lot as youth, because we people of down, we don't know how to invest money. What should we put in such that we do what we invest money back?
I'm going to buy my hen. Even I have, but what I have learned, it is more experience I have got from here. Now I'm going to buy another one so that I can be rich.
With the youth of Uganda, we are suffering much because we are not working. We have to work so much, we have to be patient and work. After working, it's where we are going to get money.
Minister Fred Byamukama there speaking to youth to stop depending on politicians. Now, government is making steady progress in improving water, sanitation and hygiene services in schools across northern Uganda under a major development program supported by international partners. The intervention falls under the Climate Resilience and Water Infrastructure for Refugees and Host Communities in northern Uganda program funded by the German government through the KfW Development Bank at an estimated cost of $200 and 48 billion. Let's take a look.
The Ministry of Water and Environment, through the Water and Sanitation Development Facility, North Best in Lira, is implementing wash infrastructure in schools project covering 199 schools in 24 districts.
We are happy we have reached this milestone where the tools for implementation come out after lengthy procurement process. We are happy that you have guided that the airports will be used for the intended purpose, and the Ministry of Education and Sports has agreed to provide for the fuel for the maintenance of these airports.
A key component is the EU-financed wash infrastructure in schools project valued at 114 billion with support from the government of Uganda. The project runs from 2023-2024 to the 2028-2029 financial years.
We understand and we are aware that this collaboration reflects our shared vision for addressing persistent gender inequalities that undermine our access to quality education. Yes, I'm so glad that as we've been given the progress status progress of the project, that among the things we shall be addressing are menstrual health management, as well as the causes of absenteeism in schools for the child.
Funded by the European Union through KfW, the project promotes inclusive education, gender equality, and the welfare of adolescent girls through improved sanitation and menstrual hygiene facilities. Implementation involves close coordination among government agencies and technical partners.
I think it will be a big example of how interministerial collaboration works in the broader program-based approach to deliver as a unit.
It's not only about vehicles, but it's about strengthening our joint capacity to deliver real results for children and the communities on the ground. As you said earlier, PS, we are here talking about the children in the classroom and real results for the communities.
The purpose of these vehicles is basically to conduct monitoring and evaluation such that the program can be implemented on plan. Yes,
once completed, the project is expected to improve learning conditions, health and school retention, particularly for girls. The program focuses on increasing access to safe water, improving sanitation facilities, and promoting good hygiene practices in schools and nearby communities, especially in refugee hosting areas.
Thank you, Barbara, for that report. Now let's talk PW elections. The Electoral Commission has declared Achan Joyce, Bomari Mpindi, Alex Sindezi, Robert Sawagude, and Laura Kanushu as the new members of Parliament representing persons with disabilities in the 12th Parliament. The declaration follows elections held yesterday, 3rd February at Nsambia for the 4 PWD representative seats, with the 5th position of the national female representative unopposed. Let's take a look.
NRM's Achan Joyce Okeni, the incumbent MP representing persons with disabilities, emerged top in yesterday's elections with 602 votes, creating a 42-vote margin with Bomari Mpindi, who came second with 560 votes.
To say thank you very, very, very much. I moved in all the corners of Uganda, all the districts, and I conveyed same message. And my manifesto was derived from the NRM manifesto.
Achan cites that she is going to Parliament to advocate for the increment of the national special grant.
Allocated 16 billion, and we want to advocate for it to go to 20 billion at least. Because at the moment, the 16 billion in the sub-counties or parishes, they form groups like 5 people in a group, and they get 5 million. That means they divide 1 million, 1 million. And to us, 1 million to inject in a business
is small.
The Electoral Commission declared Achan Joyce, Bumale Mpendi, Alex Ndizi, Sewagode Robert, and Laura Kanusha, who was unopposed for the National Female Representative seat, as the new members of parliament representing persons with disabilities.
Achan Joyce Oken of NRM, 602 votes. Mpindi Bumari of Independent, 560 votes.
Sewagode, the new entrant, finished third and pledged to fairly represent the interests of his electorate.
Trust my people with disabilities for entrusting me with their votes and giving me the mandate to go and represent you in Parliament. I want to assure you that I'm going to give you effective representation, and I have a lot that I'm planning for people with disabilities.
Alex Ndizi, a now 7th-term member of parliament, came forth with 275 votes after a tight race with a fellow incumbent, Asamo Helen. Helen Asamo, the State Minister for Persons with Disabilities, finished 5th with 228 votes, losing her seat. She, however, states that there is a need to amend the structure and responsibilities of the Persons with Disabilities Electoral College.
Ours now, we have two structures, a Disability Council and Electoral College. And by today, the Electoral College ceases what? Being. And yet the same Electoral College government has put money to elect people from the village structure. At least as the village, the chairman there can become go to the LOC1 council. At LOC2 they can, but when you reach LOC3 sub-county, we begin seeing changes that people can now go for voting, meaning this college now becomes useless. So it's a complaint that I've received. People say, why don't we change this council, the college, to become a disability council?
8 candidates contested for the 4 available positions following the early withdrawal of Patrick Sewagode. Those in the race included Achayo Rose, Asamo Helen, Achan Joyce, Sumali Mpindi, Sewagode Robert, Eunice India Mohaki, Kato Gabriel, and Wise Wayona, while Laura Kanusha was unopposed for the National Female Representative seat. Out of the 730-member Electoral College, 727 voters turned up, making it one of the highest voter turnouts and most organized elections throughout this exercise. Pauline Ongayat for UBC.
Thank you, Pauline, for that. Now let's talk allied health. The chairman, Board Allied Health Professional Council, Charles Okiria, has asserted to the National Drug Authority how the council will not cease registering and licensing drug shops to be owned by the dispensers who wish to engage in private practice. He says the practice is within their mandate. Now, last week, National Drug Authority said it was illegal for Allied National Health Professional Council to register and license drug shops to be owned by dispensers. Lydia Chomukama brings us to speed.
The Allied Health Professional Council regulates standards and conduct of allied health professionals in the country. Recently, on its social media accounts, informed the public on how the council started registration and licensing of drug shops to be managed by dispensers who wish to engage in private practice. Dispensers can engage in private practice by managing drug shops as approved by National Drug Authority. National Drug Authority says the practice is illegal.
As National Drug Authority, we would like to clarify that it is the sole mandate as a statutory agency under the Ugandan rules to license entities engaged in the retail sale of drugs to the public, including drug shops.
The chairman board, Allied Health Professional Council, Charles Okiria, disputed the claims by National Drug Authority.
So surprising to see that NDA is writing to the public and saying it is erroneous. For the mere fact that they have illegally licensed drug shops for several years, does not make them legitimate persons to license. The law of National Drug Authority does not provide for the licensure of practice. It provides for the management of the molecule of medicines. So their role is simply to quality assure the quality of medicines that are brought in this country. Medicines happen to be tools for practice for health professionals, and ensure that this tool, medicine, when it's given to the professionals, is of the right quality, efficacy, and the manufacturers ensure quality.
Okeria says the registration and licensing of drug shops that is conducted is done in accordance to the Council's mandate.
The licensing of allied health professionals practice is a mandate of Professional Council. I want to put this clearly from the start. Professional practice is a mandate of the professional councils, not National Drug Authority. National Drug Authority has no mandate to license private practice other than registration of pharmacies.
The Council says dispensers are trained professionals capable of managing drug shops.
I am surprised that the public is being duped to say these are only diploma holders. Currently, the people NDA is giving licenses are giving to people who have just left school at certificate level, and the people who operate therein are local people without training. Allied Health is out to put a standard quality drug shop outlet within its mandate. And I want to call upon the public that this is going to be a standard drug outlet, professionally managed by a qualified person who's registered in council.
National Drug Authority warns that it will close all registered and licensed drug shops by the council.
We've also informed the Minister of Health and the PS. These are professional councils. A professional council can never be a regulator.
We have a law. We are licensing practice. You cannot close what you've not licensed. We are all government agencies with different mandate. Our mandate is licensing practice. If you don't have a mandate to license practice, why would you think of closing?
Lydia Chomkama and Joseph Muyingo, UBC News.
Thank you, Lydia Chomkama, for that. I think for us, we have a mandate to go for a break. UBC Lunchtime News will come back with business.
So, Muchara.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later.
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165*80# or use the Momo app.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
So, Muchara,
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later.
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165*80# or use the Momo app.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. UBC Lunchtime News continues with business. Regional trade is a key driver of economic growth and shared prosperity, according to Tanzania's ambassador to Uganda, Ambassador Paul Simoli. Now, the ambassador made the remarks at Port Bell, Luzira, during a courtesy visit to MV Mpungu, a mega roll-off vessel operating along the northern and central corridor routes. Now, as the global shift towards greener transport gathers pace, members of the regional business community are now calling for incentives to boost the use of water transport across East Africa. Dennis Sigowa reports.
The MV Mpungu is a roll-on-roll-off vessel, so our ideal customer profile would be a transporter who owns, in layman terms, I would call it a trailer. So rather than go overland and sometimes spend days on at the border trying to cross, you just need to bring your truck, put it onto the vessel, and then depending on where you're going, say for example if you're coming from Tanzania coming to Uganda, the journey would take you about 18 hours from Mwanza to Port Bell. Whereas if you had to go overland via Mutukula border, that journey very easily can take you anywhere between 4 to 6 days. So I think for the transporters, this is the main value add, in the sense that you will significantly save time and be able to get more use out of your asset. If you have a truck, instead of, let's say, doing one trip from Tanzania to Uganda in a month, very easily, if you use our service, you can easily triple the number of trips that you do in a given month.
But now, if we have such multimodal, someone is going to be able to, if I'm moving by truck or SGR, I will move from Dar es Salaam, Mwanza, I'm going on the ship, 18 hours, my cargo is ready here in Kampala. And you can access it at any point in time. And I appeal to government that they speed up the finishing of Bukasa Port. Because if you never finish Bukasa Port, it will be easy to connect the Namamve, people where they have an industrial park. And also lastly to government, we do not have incentives in the logistics sector. You find that for us up here, if you're importing a truck, you are supposed to pay 25% on importation of a truck. And also maybe are having to encourage investments in these some of this infrastructure. We need to have incentives, encourage the private sector to come and invest here, because now it is private sector. And I hope doing more and more, government will be able to benefit as also as the private sector also benefit.
And in Tanzania, we have actually to strengthen the trade so that we can raise our economy. So this is a big achievement for the Uganda, but not only for Uganda. It is also for the East Africa community. Yeah, so we have to be proud of it.
Thank you so much, Den Sigowa, for that. Now, UBC Lunchtime News has come to a very end. Thank you so much for being part of this broadcast. I am Brian Tumwine Biaruhanga. Goodbye, and God bless Uganda.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Hi,
and welcome to Kiswahili Kimoja. Let's learn some farm work. Tujifunze kazi wa bustani. Kukamua, kukamua. Milking. Bibi anakamua ng'ombe. Bibi anakamua ng'ombe. Grandma is milking the cow. Kupulizia, kupulizia. Spraying. Mjomba anapulizia dawa ya wadudu shambani. Mjomba anapulizia dawa ya wadudu shambani. Uncle is spraying pesticide in the garden. Kulima, kulima. Plowing. Babu analima shamba kwa trekta. Babu analima shamba kwa trekta. Grandpa is plowing the garden with a tractor. Kutandaza, kutandaza. Mulching. Baba anatandaza majani shambani. Baba anatandaza majani shambani. Father is mulching the garden with leaves. Good job. Kazi nzuri. Remember, the more you practice, the easier it gets. See you next time. Tutaonana tena.
Hello everyone and welcome to this final edition of Initiative Africa for 2025. As every year we bring you a spotlight on the innovations, stories and experiences that have shaped the continent. It's also a chance to reflect with our guests on Africa's progress and challenges during these past months. But first, here's what's coming up in your program. How did Africa's thinkers, creators and change makers perceive the evolution of this turbulent year marked by geopolitical uncertainty, commercial tensions and renewed armed conflicts? And yet, many voices continue to rise, showing another Africa, one of wisdom, creativity and progress, advancing with determination in the economy, culture, public health and more. We revisit some of our